Hello everyone, in this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. This is Moeed Pirzada in Dallas, Texas, United States. Today is July 12th, 2025. After nearly 3 days, I feel that I am almost ready to return to this YouTube channel. I've been receiving many messages, text messages and emails from people asking what's going on, so I quickly wanted to record a video here. In a short while there's going to be a seminar here which includes Ryan Grimm, Dr. Shahbaz, Gill, Wajahat S. Khan and some US congressmen. I'm rushing to participate in it. What's happening here in Dallas, Texas is that the 48th annual convention of APPNA, Association of Physicians of Pakistani Descent of North America, is taking place. I can share many pictures and images from this event. It's being held at a beautiful Hilton hotel in Dallas, where thousands of Pakistanis, mostly physicians but also non-physicians and their families, have gathered. Some are engineers and professionals, and many have come from all across America, even a few from Pakistan. People have come from every region, East Coast, West Coast, North and South. Last year too, I mentioned that this is probably the largest gathering of educated Pakistani citizens anywhere in the world. So with a few comments on that, I want to also share that the situation in Pakistan currently is that the leadership of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, has nearly reached Lahore. A caravan of vehicles is forming, and you can see much of this footage on PTI's YouTube channel. From the footage, PTI claims there are hundreds of thousands of vehicles and people, but upon watching it, you realize this is not the kind of massive traditional caravan we've seen from PTI in the past. It's more of a motorcycle movement or mobilization. Included in this are Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Chief Minister Ali Amin Gandapur and Acting PTI Chairman Barrister Gohar. I'll try to share brief statements from them. Ali Amin Gandapur is known to play all sides like in cricket, and in his statement he says they will march in large numbers and prove their strength. I'll show you a small clip of that. Barrister Gohar also spoke at the meeting, saying they must create a complete plan of action to continue the movement until August 5th. All PTI parliamentarians are involved. The most significant and honest commentary, however, came from Salman Akram Raja. Salman Akram Raja strongly emphasized that taking to the streets is the right of PTI and all Pakistani citizens. They can and should protest peacefully. However, their arrival in Lahore is not for a rally or protest, but for a private meeting. The meeting is being taken to Lahore intentionally to sit with friends from various regions, listen to the people and discuss Pakistan's economic and political future. This is very significant because it shows a shift. The focus of the protest is no longer Islamabad but Lahore. It indicates, in my opinion, that the military establishment, especially General Asim Munir's team, has tacitly approved this. They don't want the protest in Islamabad, but they're allowing a limited mobilization in Lahore. PTI was likely conveyed not to disturb Mariam Nawaz's government in Lahore and to keep gatherings private and low-key. This is a protest happening below the radar under the threshold. Salman Akram was also asked about Imran Khan's sons, Qasim and Suleiman, whether they would be allowed to enter Pakistan, whether they would travel on British or Pakistani passports. He skillfully dodged the question but said that if they're denied entry or visas, it would be a great injustice and a ridiculous situation. Now, one of the reasons I couldn't record a video yesterday, even though I could have in the evening, was because of my focus on engaging with as many attendees as possible. I had more than 100 corner meetings, brief 5 to 6 minute group chats, or longer 15 to 30 minute conversations with small groups of 5 to 7 people. These people expressed deep concerns about Pakistan, about Imran Khan, PTI, and the direction the country is heading in. A very common and painful question everyone asked was, what will happen to Imran Khan? Will the army ever release him? Some believe he'll never be released, that he may remain in prison for 8 years. Others think PTI has no leverage to negotiate a release. Some feel Imran Khan could be released in a few weeks or months. Ryan Grimm also spoke at a dinner for the Alumni Association. He claimed that during a meeting between Donald Trump and General Asim Munir, Trump politely expressed concern about Pakistani American supporters and congressional pressure, suggesting that the Pakistani government should improve Imran Khan's situation. I haven't personally spoken with Grimm yet to confirm his source. But if Ryan Grimm's source is the same as those I've relied on, Pakistani American sources, then this may be speculation planted by Pakistan's embassy or Asim Munir's team to control the narrative. It's a strategic game. Now, regarding Imran Khan, people are deeply sympathetic. They believe he stood for democracy, human rights, and the rule of law in Pakistan. Many now believe that he should have taken a less-than-ideal deal in 2022 to avoid this crisis. They believe his assumption that social media pressure would bring public uprising was incorrect. He should have negotiated a deal to exit this mess, as there seems to be no path to improvement. Some still think that once Imran Khan is released, Pakistan's situation could change. I challenge them. How? Even if Khan is freed and PTI returns to power, how do you fix the damage that's been done? Pakistan's institutional structures have collapsed. District courts barely function. High courts and constitutional rights like Article 199 don't exist anymore. The Supreme Court doesn't act independently. Rule of law is gone. Mainstream media has been destroyed. Journalists have been abducted, harassed, silenced. The media has bowed to the regime. How do you fix that? How do you deal with the heightened tension with India after Pahalgam? No one has answers, but people remain focused on Imran Khan. I even got a chance to speak on this at one gathering. The question is, what is the current situation in Pakistan? I have to explain to people that just a few weeks ago, when the World Bank released its report, we learned that approximately 45% of Pakistanis either live right at the poverty line or well below it. That means they survive on anywhere from 1.99 to 4.90 per day. Now, I've developed a habit of collecting information from everyone. Many people have made similar comments to me. In fact, the taxi driver in Karachi who brought me here said the exact same thing, as did many well-educated consultants, that only those people remain in Pakistan who have no way or capacity to leave, run or escape. There are essentially two kinds of people left in Pakistan: the ruling elite, a few thousand people who have massive houses, billions in wealth, their children abroad, and no trouble leaving Pakistan whenever they wish. These are the powerful people. And then there are the poor, who cannot flee to Europe, America, Australia, or even anywhere in the Middle East. These are the discussions I keep having as a part of my personal education and reflection on the matter. Let me also share that the event I've come to attend here, I wasn't even officially invited by APPNA, the Association of Physicians of Pakistani Descent of North America. Ever since Dr. Humaira became the new president of APPNA from Allama Iqbal Medical College, my own alma mater, the embassy has effectively banned me from all appearances and invitations. Now, APPNA doesn't invite me. Even today, I was invited by an alternative or rebel group within APPNA. This entire event that we're holding was not even granted permission by the hotel authorities, so we've had to shift it to a neighbouring hotel where I'm currently heading. Here's another interesting detail. When I landed at the airport and was collecting my luggage from the conveyor belt, I suddenly recognised a familiar face. It was Ambassador Rizwan Saeed Sheikh of Pakistan. We had a respectful and brief 4-minute conversation. He stood up and we exchanged polite words. I told him, "This is the first time I'm seeing you in person. I've seen you on TV, especially back in May when there was tension with India. You made some sharp, well-measured comments. You spoke well. My point was, that's your real role. You're not supposed to be caught up in internal Pakistani politics, but honestly, I understand that he has been forced into it. If he were a free and independent ambassador, he would never want to get entangled in the mess that is Pakistani politics." Ambassador Rizwan Sheikh is an articulate, intelligent person. We had an engaging discussion. He also said, "We all need to unite now because there's a serious threat from India." He mentioned that when Narendra Modi says the war hasn't ended and that this is not a ceasefire but a pause, it should concern everyone. He also commented on broader regional matters. But here's something I didn't say directly to the ambassador. When you say we need unity, it is your very own embassy that has banned voices like mine, dissenting voices, from participating in events. Whether at APPNA or at universities, this has happened multiple times. In fact, some Pakistani student organizations that invited me later had to cancel under embassy pressure. Several forums have told me they were forced to uninvite me. Now, I understand the ambassador's limitations. As a Foreign Service officer of Pakistan, these are not his decisions. These decisions come under pressure from the same agency that essentially runs Pakistan's mission in Washington and controls high commissions worldwide. Last night, while roaming the hotel, I found out that during the dinner event where Ambassador Rizwan Saeed Sheikh was the keynote speaker, there was heckling and protest from many attendees. People reportedly said harsh things to him and told me about it with pride. I understand this anger, and people see him as a representative of Pakistan's oppressive regime, the Sharif Zardari Asim regime. But I want to share a different perspective. Despite being personally banned, despite being unable to enter the embassy, it's like a foreign land to me, I still don't believe the ambassador is responsible. He's part of a system, a structure. Everyone has to follow the same orders and their institutional capacity has been destroyed. This is similar to what we're seeing in America, where agencies like ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, are doing things unprecedented in 50 to 60 years. For example, people are being forced onto planes and told they're being sent to Louisiana for detention, only to find out they've been deported to some Latin American or African country, a blatantly illegal and unconstitutional act. If this can happen in the United States, just imagine the administrative collapse in a country like Pakistan. Another interesting episode. The alumni of a medical college invited me to dinner. Though other alumni had also invited me earlier, I had already committed to this group from the Army Medical College. Their acting president, Dr. Rashid, and secretary invited me. When others heard I was going to an Army Medical College alumni dinner, they were shocked. How did they invite you? Is this a trap? What will you say there? But when I arrived, there weren't many people, about 20 to 30 at most, including the principal. I found that they were just as concerned about Pakistan's future as anyone else. My perspective was that the army as an institution is not responsible. The institution has been hijacked, and its top officials have become part of the elite class. Just like ICE agents or ambassadors, army officers also face limitations. However, there were more critical voices in the audience than mine. Some argued that because of deep institutional entrenchment, perks like plots and army welfare benefits, the military leadership is complicit. Now I must quickly move along because I have to attend the conference. But before I go, I want to show you some headlines from the newspapers. One headline from Haaretz, a leading left-leaning Israeli newspaper, reveals that the hostages believe Netanyahu is singularly responsible for the deaths in this war. The Israeli establishment and Netanyahu are blamed for not ending the war. He wants to keep it going to avoid accountability for his corruption cases. Another headline shows that Netanyahu has informed Donald Trump that if Iran resumes its nuclear program, Israel will attack again. One analysis shows that in Israel, soldiers who died in Gaza this week cannot be called martyrs. The analysis argues that this war is against the teachings of Judaism, and while the article is secular in nature, the implications are profound. This reminds me of Pakistan's own debates, where I've stopped using words like martyr. This very same discussion is happening in Israel now, about whether their soldiers can be called martyrs. Lastly, there's a headline showing that Trump has imposed a 30 to 35% duty on the European Union in Mexico. What does it mean? It means that Trump's trade negotiations have largely failed. So far, he's only finalized deals with Vietnam and the United Kingdom, 20% for Vietnam and unclear terms with the UK. The rest of the world hasn't reached any conclusive trade agreements with him. Let me now attend the conference, and I will discuss more about this seminar afterward. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.